Hello everybody, this is the Sheffield United way and today we are previewing another crucial home game as we take on Millwall at Bramall Lane on Tuesday night. After defeat at Oxford on Saturday, the Blades have got to get back to winning ways. We need that 3 points to keep ourselves ahead of Leeds as well as keeping ourselves right on the tails of Burnley as we are navigating the ups and downs of the running.
Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole.
Well, that was rubbish, wasn't it? After Leeds had slipped up in the afternoon, the early lunchtime kickoff slot, United had the chance to be 4 points clear of their rivals and really established at the top of the championship. But it was a limp performance. Let's be honest, it was complacent. It just wasn't at the levels that we are expecting from this United team. And we slumped to a 1-0 defeat to Oxford. That meant that we've waited for so long to build ourselves a margin for error. And we burnt through it immediately. As soon as we'd got that chance, we slipped up because we knew in the back of our minds that we could afford to. We can't afford to do that again. It's a huge loss. United have got to bounce back. We've got to make sure that we are kicking on now. No more complacency, no more mistakes, no more slip-ups. It's a run to the end of the season, and we have to make sure that we stay above that dotted line. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to give a huge thanks to our video sponsors, 𝗫𝗫𝗃 Bar and Grill. 𝗫𝗫𝗃 is it's a premium bar which is set across 2 floors and it has 2 bars. It's got a luxury restaurant space and VIP boxes if you want a special experience just with your close friends. It really is Sheffield's ultimate social experience. It is also our designated pre-match bar, and for games like a Tuesday night when you're not sure, can I get home? Do I have to stay in town? 𝗫𝗫𝗃 is the perfect place to go, have your tea, meet your friends, and have a drink before making that short walk to Bramall Lane. You can find 𝗫𝗃𝗃 at the entrance to New Era Square. Now, team news. The Blades welcome Millwall, and to be honest, for the first time in a long time, United pretty much have a full squad to choose from. 𝗍𝗍𝗶 made his return. He's been out for almost a month with a little bit of an injury to his leg, but he made his return in the second half against Oxford. And to be honest, after such a limp performance, it's the only word we can use to describe it. We might potentially be looking at other changes throughout the team. Does Callum O'Hare, for example, come back in instead of Ryan Brewster? Could we expect to see 𝗍𝗫𝗃 coming in on the wing to replace Ben Brereton Diaz, who, if we're being honest, has been a little bit disappointing in recent games? We also have to think about the fact that we were exposed from a long throw against Oxford. Just a long throw into the box. And if we know anything about Millwall, it's how dangerous they are on set pieces. The way they're going to come at us. We all know the threat of Jake Cooper. So do we look at changes in defence? Is there anything we can do to bring a little bit more physicality, maybe a little bit more height into our team? Now, before we go into the full prediction for what I think the starting 11 is going to be, let me first give a huge thanks to 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵 is a virtual band and many of their members are huge Sheffield United fans. Please do go and check out 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹.com. The latest album, Tall Tales of 10 Girls, is absolutely fabulous. But that's not all. They will have new music coming out soon. Pop songs your mum would like. And I tell you what, if anything's going to sell me on an album, that name is going to sell me on an album. So please do go and check out 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹.com. So, my prediction for the starting 11 in this game is going to be Cooper, obviously, in goal. At back 4, I'm predicting changes. I'm actually going to go Chowdhury at right back. We'll probably end up keeping the centre-half partnership the same, and Nelson Robinson. But I do think we might see McCallum come back in at left-back, maybe giving Burrows a little bit of a rest. In midfield, I think we will bring 𝗍𝗍𝗶𝗃 in from the start to try and get him back up to full speed. He'll be partnering 𝗍𝗍𝗃, who is one of the few players who comes out of the game against Oxford with a lot of credit. I thought he still had a decent performance in the centre of midfield. In front of them, I think the attacking 3 is probably going to be Harmer, O'Hare and 𝗍𝗃𝗃. I do think we will make those changes to freshen up our lineup. And of course, the main man, 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Campbell at centre forward, always looks dangerous. Even against Oxford, had our best chance, forced the keeper into a great save. I'd keep him in the team. Now, do you disagree? Do you like what you see? What would you be doing with the team for Tuesday night? What is your predicted lineup? Let us know in the comments below. Now, for our opposition view this week, we are handing over to Millwall fan and presenter of the Achtung Millwall podcast. It is Nick. Nick, take it away.
Hello Ollie, Nick Hart here from Achtung Millwall podcast. Yeah, Tuesday night, Sheffield United away, big game, tough game. We're carrying a lot of injuries at the moment, in truth. though our season flickers on after a decent win yesterday at home to Portsmouth 2-1. But for the injuries, I might have fancied us to go to Sheffield. Always a great away day, great venue. I love Bramall Lane. But I think we're up against it in truth. I would expect a starting 11, given we lost 𝗣𝗵𝗲𝗵 yesterday. Don't know how he's going to shape up for Tuesday night's game, so I'm going to presume him to be out because he left the field clutching his arm. So I'm going to go with Lucas Jensen in goal. Back line, probably it will be Ryan Leonard, I'd expect, who I think played for Sheffield United in a previous life. Leonard in right back, central defence, Jake Cooper and Tristan Kramer, our new French signing, who's done very well in right back position, being played out of his normal slot. And then Joe Bryan, who's playing very well this season on the left side. I'm going to expect Alex Neil to go back to 4-2-3-1. We actually played 4-4-2 and it went off good. I do like 4-4-2, Ollie. Been a bit of a mill dinosaur. But I think we'll be 4-2-3-1 Tuesday night because I think Alex will try to contain, if we can, a very strong Sheffield United side and hit on the break. That's going to be probable tactics. So central midfield two, probably Casper De Norre, possibly Jules Saville, possibly Billy Mitchell. Saville started yesterday. We might go with Billy Mitchell as the two. Remains to be seen. In front of them, the attacking three, I'm really looking for a big performance from Aaron Connolly, who's on loan from Sunderland. Very talented boy, a lot of creativity and vision. Really like the look of him. Whether we can retain him for next season, whether his off-field issues can be worked out, I don't know. Hope so. Central defence, central midfield, we are crying out for someone with a bit of a spark. I'm expecting Luke Cundle. Whether he is that spark or not has yet to be decided for the season. Cundle probably, being realistic. On the left, we may start with Idemo Marco, a really fast, strong player, though he's looked at his best coming into games late. So possibly George Honeyman as a free. Up front, I'm going to expect a sole attacker. We did go with a two-man strike force yesterday, which was 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Josh Coburn on loan from Middlesbrough. If we're going to go 4-2-3-1, I probably would start Coburn up there and look to bring in 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏. Well, he got 2 goals yesterday. It's actually one of his best performances yesterday. So some selection choices. If only we had 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝐻𝐸 fit. If only we had our new record club signing �camille fit. If only we had England prospect Ray Spangura-Williams available. If. But difficult game. I think we'll do well to get anything out of it. If we get a point up there, probably that'd be a huge achievement. We really need a win. Can't see it personally, but hope springs eternal, Ollie, doesn't it? Thanks a lot.
Hope springs eternal. Famous words there coming from Nick, and it does indeed, and it feels it's appropriate for both teams' seasons, particularly looking at where we sit right now. Hearing him go through the squad and Jake Cooper's name, it sends a shiver down my spine. But with so many men out for Millwall, it does sound as though United fans might need to prepare ourselves for a little bit of a frustrating game. They're going to want to slow it down. They're going to want to try and contain us, hit us on set pieces, hit us on a quick break. Casper De Norre in midfield is definitely a player to keep an eye out for. But hopefully, Nick's pessimism is right. It is going to be a tough game for them and the Blades can get a win. Thank you for helping us out with that one, Nick. So, the referee for Sheffield United versus Millwall, the referee in this one is Sam Allison. Now, he's taken charge of 28 games so far this season across all competitions, and he has issued 118 yellow cards. 118 yellow cards. That's an average of more than 4 per game, which is ridiculously high. However, he's only given 1 red card. So despite being one of the most card-happy refs that we are going to watch all season, he doesn't like giving red cards, which we'll see how that plays. He's also given 5 penalties. That's about standard for what you would expect for someone who's reffed that number of games. Now, this will be his first Sheffield United game of the season, but he has already reffed Millwall just the once. He gave them 5 yellows, but it was a victory for Millwall that day. In the past, he has reffed United once. It was a famous game. He became the first black referee in the Premier League for 15 years when he reffed Sheffield United's 3-2 home defeat. The comedy of errors that was us against Luton on Boxing Day last season. Now, bringing us into our player connections, and we always try and find 4 players who have played for both. The first one up for this one is a specialist in player connections, one I always like to shout out. Ollie Burke. And of course you have to shout him out because 1, he is rubbish, but 2, he scored the winning goal at Old Trafford. And that is the duality of man. After that, we look at �11𝗗𝗏, a man that the person sat behind me at Bramall Lane once described as a streaky piece of bacon after he had missed a sitter at the Bramall Lane end. And I have no idea what he meant when he called him that. His overall record for United, 23 goals in 67 games. That's not a bad effort. It's a decent way that he is remembered at Bramall Lane for being a pretty good player for the Blades. He then retired after joining Millwall, where he scored 3 goals in 21. Ryan Leonard was shouted out by Nick before. He's obviously still playing for Millwall. 176 appearances that he's got for them now since joining from United back in 2019. Leonard, a famous one of Wilder's long-term chasers. It felt like we wanted him window after window after window. And when he came in, we just couldn't quite get him in the team. But great to see that he's working out for him with Millwall. And finally, I'm going to go with 𝗤𝗏. And I've done that because it feels like he is quite relevant right now. The reason being that he spent a long time with Millwall, 238 appearances before leaving them to join United. And of course, his first season with United, he was one of the few men who get to experience promotion to the Premier League in a red and white shirt, joining Neil Warnock's team in 2005 as we went straight up into the Premier League before a, let's say, controversial relegation. But we don't talk about that anymore. So, not bad. 9 goals in 42 games after joining United. His nickname, 𝗤𝗏, was probably a little bit harsh and one who we should remember relatively fondly. So they are our player connections. If you have got any player connections, anybody I've forgotten, any more famous names, do put them in the comments and remind me why I'm so terrible at trying to think of players who have played for both. Now, finally, we come to our score predictions. If you want your score prediction shouting out as part of this preview, please do go and do everything you can to help us out by going to patreon.com/SheffUnitedWay. It massively helps us out to keep doing what we're doing, to be producing as much as we can for all United fans that are out there. Now, our predictions. 𝗞𝗶H, he thinks we're going to have an immediate response to the disappointment over the weekend. He's gone for a 3-0 home victory, and Ash J has also backed him up, saying it will be 3-0. Our manager thinks that United will turn up on Tuesday and be in good nick. He's gone for a 2-0 win, while Ray and Mr. Paul both agree with him on that one. Leon thinks it'll be a 2-1 win. Well, Joy wasn't sure where she wants to go. She thinks it's going to be squeaky. She thinks it's going to be difficult. She's scared of Jake Cooper as well, but she's also backed a home win. She thinks it'll be 1-0, and Chris has agreed. Oh, so what do I think? And I'm struggling with this one. I saw the performance at the weekend, the nerves, the pressure. It's all starting to pile on just a little bit. As I say, there are some names in this Millwall team that send a shiver down my spine. It's nice to see some of the players that might not feature in this one. Tanganga is a fantastic footballer, and him not being there does make it maybe a little bit more of an opportunity for United. But I won't be the jinx. I'm saying this one's going to finish 1-1. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Hopefully, you're all feeling more positive than I am. And hopefully, I am eating my words come full time on Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching this preview. Thank you so much for listening to this preview if you've got it as an audio podcast. But mainly, let's see you on Tuesday. Up the Blades.
𝗚𝗿𝗄𝗍